I heard you wanted some tips on how to be a YouTuber.
Yes, and I thought you were the perfect person.
You know, I don't want to brag, but I might know a thing or two.
So these past few weeks, I have been having a blast creating YouTube content for you guys, and I've been reading the comments. I just can't thank you enough for just being a part of this amazing journey with me. But there is so much more left to know and to learn, and I thought the perfect person to show me the ropes about YouTube is the love of my life, besides my husband. I'm telling you, I absolutely love this girl so much, and she's just such a great person, and that person is Lilly Singh, aka Superwoman, and she is actually gonna teach me a quick fix guide on how to be a YouTuber. Lilly, can you feel the love
fest begins.
Yeah, can you feel the love? Oh my god,
you smell so good.
You do too.
You're my favorite person.
Yeah, you're my favorite person too.
Thank you for having me on your channel.
Oh my god,
I am so excited you're on YouTube.
I am so, really?
I'm so excited.
Thank you.
YouTube needs such a genuine soul like you with your laugh and your energy. You can feel through your screen, it feels good.
It's a completely different world, so help me.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
The first thing, and this is from my experiences, it might be different for a lot of other creators out there, but budgeting and like pacing, and I'll explain what that is.
Okay.
So when I do my videos, I got my crew, you know, someone on the camera, someone on the sound, and it is go, 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 okay? You walk in, this shot's happening, you do a couple takes of it, this shot's happening, you do a couple of takes of it. When you're on a traditional set, people take 45 minutes to set up a light.
Yes, we call it kind of like the hurry up and wait.
Yes. So in YouTube, that doesn't exist in my world. Why? Because I'm paying for that set. That's why that doesn't exist. So I just wrapped a movie in Toronto, and I was like in my trailer for 6 hours, and I was like, no, see, these 6 hours are 6 hours I'm getting paid for. And if this is my set, ain't nobody getting paid for 6 hours.
Everything is so quick and fast, which is, like you said, so cool. You're not sitting around and waiting around. You're going at your own pace.
Exactly.
So,
and I think a big part of that is because on YouTube, you know, of course people want to make quality content, but things are more forgivable on YouTube a little bit. It's the platform. It's fun and it's loose and it's authentic.
It's not so strict.
Yeah, if a slider shot is, you know, slightly out of focus, nobody cares.
Yeah.
Whereas on a film set, they're like, we're gonna need a reset. That's 60 minutes of a reset.
Or you have to say the line a certain way. You know what I mean? Like what I find with YouTube is you could just be yourself. You know what I mean? Like, because I'm always kind of used to playing a character, but I can just be my crazy, silly self, and it's what I want to do.
Also, if you're watching this, I hope a fan out there, please make a montage of every time Tia laughs. Because that will be the best thing you gain from this show. Right, there's a great start.
Okay, that was corny.
The second difference, and this is something I'm really, really proud of, is that there is no casting director monitoring the upload button. And so when I started in 2010, and I was a brown girl, no one told me no. And I think it's a great platform for diversity and people to use their voices for things they really, really believe in.
Oh my god, that's awesome. I love that.
And I know in Hollywood, sometimes that can be a little bit challenging.
Sometimes?
You know, I'm just saying, I just want to be politically correct.
Sometimes.
No, I just want to be politically correct. But yeah, it's a little bit tougher, but I think that's why YouTube is so great, because literally anyone can upload a video.
And that was the first thing that I noticed. The diversity of all the YouTubers. Do you know what I mean?
100%.
The diversity it's on point, and that's awesome.
On that note, I think, you know, the great thing about YouTube is there's no focus groups, and so it's truly like the people decide what succeeds. You know, it's not a group of execs being like, no, this is gonna work well, this should be worded like this. The people decide, which leads me to my next point of everything on YouTube is decided by the people, and every view is earned.
That's so cool.
Doesn't come with any built-in audience. It's not a studio that is gonna broadcast this mess. No, it's you have to earn every single view. Yeah.
Does that make it harder, or?
It makes it challenging, of course, but also exciting.
Yeah.
I think when you have to earn every single view, yes, that's a little scary, but it's also kind of like, oh, but like I can be completely myself in earning these views. I don't have to follow someone else's agenda to earn these views.
You know, as an actress, people, they kind of know me as a character, and that character kind of fits that television show, that fits into that brand on that network, right? Whereas with me and YouTube, it's just me.
The great thing about YouTube is people want to see people like them on their screens, and in the real world, people don't speak perfectly.
Yeah,
they don't always nail their lines. You know, in my videos, sometimes I will accidentally hit my wall, and I'll leave that in.
Yeah.
Sometimes my hair will be messed up, I'll leave that in.
Yeah.
I have a pimple, I'll point that out because people want to see the real version of people. And so I think when people come from a more traditional space, they do feel like, no, it's gotta be really scripted to the T, and I get why that works in that world.
Yeah.
Here it's just, people wanna see someone in their bedroom or in their kitchen or in their living room just being normal people. No matter what you say, there's going to be an audience member that enjoys it and gives you a view, and you're gonna.
Yeah, and it's me just being myself, which I absolutely
is above and beyond the average human being.
Love.
I should also point out.
Thank you.
See, this would be cut in a sitcom.
I know.
This would be cut.
I know.
This moment would be cut, and we're gonna leave it in. This is proof that it's going in. Editor, don't cut this.
Yeah.
One of the things I struggle with, because I do, YouTube is my main bread and butter, but I also do the auditions. I've done the pilot seasons. I am trying to get into TV and film, not one over the other, just at the same time.
Yeah.
I remember during pilot season, you do a first audition, a second audition, then you do a screen test, and then that show may or may not happen in the next year. So like this whole process, I was like, it's been like 5 months, and I don't even know if this is gonna happen. I make YouTube videos the same day they come out, and so the feedback is so much more
instant gratification.
Exactly. And so it's really hard for me to grasp that whole idea of so much effort could go into something that is decided by someone else.
You're absolutely right. And I can definitely sympathize with you with that whole, the pilot season. Like you work so hard and you can go out on 10, 15 auditions during pilot season and you're learning your lines, which takes you about 2 to 3 hours, And then it's like, you do your best and then you don't even hear anything.
And it's quite archaic the way it happens because like it's an audition room full of people making you feel awkward where there's no way you can do your best.
Yeah,
it's
because you're reading with a casting director.
Exactly. Who's gonna be super monotone.
Yeah, who doesn't give you anything.
Yeah, and they don't care. It's just
terrible.
Yeah, but then you go on YouTube and you have this freedom, so I just feel like it's a little bit archaic of a system. And I think that's really exciting, but sometimes frustrating about being on YouTube is that YouTube is still kind of like an underdog. The digital space is booming and it's thriving.
Yes.
But a lot of people still don't get it. There's a lot of people that come up to me like, so wait, what do you do? Like you make videos like on the internet? And so it's weird to a lot of people. The scope of it has really changed, but it's still the underdog and people still view traditional media as here and digital here, even though the numbers I'm just saying, are kind of like this, but we're still very much just trying to prove ourselves. Off my last point though, I will say one of the coolest things about being a YouTuber is that pretty much all YouTubers own their content. And I think that's something traditional stars are really envious of because all my videos are my property, my intellectual property, and I own the rights to them.
That's so cool. They're yours.
They're mine.
For instance, a lot of people know me from Sister Sister, right?
What show was that? Part of the montage, right there. Part of the montage. Throw it in there.
But if they wanted to recast me or say they wanted to do a spinoff of Sister Sister without me and recast me, they could. Because I do not own the content. And, I've put so much work into that character. I did that show for 6 years and people know me from that show, but I don't own it.
That hurts my heart.
I know, right?
Just the thought of that hurts my heart immensely. Well, the bright side is that here no one can replace you. This is Tia Mowry's channel. It's gonna be your channel and you own it.
Yes.
Irreplaceable. Cue Beyonce song. Irreplaceable.
Do you read comments?
I do read my comments. I also, after I upload a video, spend 60 minutes replying to comments. Majority of your comments are going to be positive, but there's going to be some negative ones. And I think that
I think that's good. Like, how do you deal with that?
One of the ways I deal with it, of course, everyone can say, get a thick skin. Those are just
human.
Sometimes it's going to bother you. Even now, I've done this for 7 years. There will be a comment every once in a while where I'm just like, oh, you gonna get it. But you have to really just understand in your mind and believe and know that sad people write mean comments. Right? And happy people don't do those things. And so it's not a reflection of you, it's a reflection of the person writing the comment. And you have to really understand that.
Okay.
Even though I'm saying this to you, still someone's gonna write a comment, you're still gonna reply and sass them.
Okay.
And maybe that's okay. And maybe that's okay.
You're such a great person, and I just love everything that you stand for. And thank you so much for supporting me. So just want to say thank you.
Baby, of course, thank you for having me.
By.
And I want to say also to any of Team Super that might be here from my channel, my socials, you should already know Tia. But if you haven't subscribed already, make sure you subscribe, comment, do the thumbs up, do all the things for Tia. She's a great human being, please.
Thank you. And if you guys have any advice on, how to be a YouTuber and all that good stuff, make sure you leave it in the comments below. Bye.